Hi, everybody. Welcome. Tuco Cell is just coming on now, and we're just going to do a little bit of a sound check. So please don't mind us. And yeah, we'll just check this out. Okay.
Hello.
Hello. So I explained that we're doing a sound check.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, let me just look at my sound here. Audio settings. And okay, I have it on automatic, but maybe I'm gonna put original sound for musicians.
Okay, I mean, it sounds good right now, but what I wanted to see is either when you hold a note or when you play the drum, there's one
Uh,
way that it works and another way that it doesn't. So I just wanted to see if we could take care of that now so I don't interrupt you.
how's that?
Well, it doesn't really, it doesn't sound like a drum, it's kind of, yeah, yeah. So
Okay, let's see. Let me try original sound for musicians.
yeah,
High fidelity.
yeah.
And should I put maybe, let's see.
It's still sort of the same.
Okay, now let me I can remove the microphone adjusting volume. Let's see now.
Sounds the same to me. Everybody agree? Yeah. Sounds the same. Okay, so let's just say that's
Let me
worth
try stereo. No, but stereo is just okay.
I wonder if I change mine since I'm host to live performance. Go ahead.
No, because I'm changing my own. That's an echo.
Oh yeah. That doesn't work. Okay.
I'm changing my own audio settings.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
uh,
Um,
let's see. Let me just plug in my my higher quality microphone. 1 second. And then Stephanie, you downloaded the video? You have it?
yeah, I have it.
Okay. Let me see. Okay. Hi, everyone. We're just doing an audio check. Any better?
It's the same. Yeah, it's the same. I mean, the thing that I really want to make sure is when you're singing so melodiously. Oh,
Now I know you're lying. Okay. Is that
yeah,
better?
yeah.
Okay.
However, hold on. I'm echoing, but I won't be talking, obviously, when you go.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
only
So
thing, the only thing that
it's
I want to check is one more thing. Can you sing the mantra and just make sure your voice doesn't get chopped off? I'm going to mute my mic.
I can't promise it won't crack. Um, Om Ahom Vidyadharacharya Munishasa Samudra Sarvasiddhihum.
Okay, so when you're on, I'm echoing, but we don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to just shut my mouth and say thank you. Sounded great.
Okay, so just so you know, Stephanie, we have to select original sound for musicians in the audio, but then we have to turn it on also on our screen. You know, at the top left-hand corner, there's original sound for musicians has to be selected on. Okay. Um, okay. Silence. All right, I'm just gonna light a little incense and finish my shrine setup. I'll be right back.
While Tuko Cell is doing that, I just wanted to see if my voice echoes when he mutes, and it doesn't. We're in business. Okay. So I started to put the Guru Yoga Vine of Faith in the chat. I'll continue to do that as I know people sometimes will join in a little later, so you could receive that. And I'm hoping that everybody received this very last minute message. I had posted on Mighty Network, and Tugo Cell, I believe, sent out a message as well, just very last minute, that will be a little longer than usual for special reasons on Saga Dawa. So I'm sure Tugo Cell will tell you all about it. But hopefully everybody has that time and can stay on till the very end. Yay. Okay. If you haven't seen you could check Mighty Network or look at your emails to know more till Tugo Cell comes on. Thank you. And we will get started soon. Eric, can I just say hello and see if you're
Hi.
Hi. Hi, thank you. Thanks so much for being here.
My pleasure, of course.
Thank you. Okay. We're at Tugo, so we'll be right back. We'll get started in a minute.
Okay. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us today on Saga Dawa, this auspicious day that commemorates the birth, the enlightenment, and the passing away of the Buddha. So it's incredibly auspicious, and feel very lucky to also have Lama Eric Drew here as well. And although he doesn't use his title, when Rinpoche refers to Eric, he calls him Lama. So just so everyone knows. And this morning, I reached out to our contact in China, and I was like, is there any message from Rinpoche for Saga Dawa? And so just an hour ago, we got a message, a Rinpoche Saga Dawa message, that Lama Eric Drew is going to translate for us live. And on top of that, we also have an opportunity to, which we're very excited about, to request Rinpoche for names for anybody who is wanting to get a name for either themselves or a family member. So I don't I don't believe Stephanie is going to post a link right now, but it will be posted directly on the Mighty Networks and or the Dzogchen Network, Dzogchen Nintik Network. And so please look for that. And this message will also be posted. Rinpoche's Saga Dawa message will also be posted with Eric's translation. So I think that's it. Is there anything else, Stephanie?
I think you covered it.
Okay. All right. So, what is the schedule?
I'm going to echo when your mic's open.
What's that?
I echo when your mic is on. So just saying.
Okay.
On the schedule, what we're going to do is first watch the video as usual, our usual rhythm. This teaching when the student asked Rinpoche about Salung, and so this is a answer that Rinpoche gave based on pranayama. And then we'll go into the practice as usual, and at the end of the practice, you will share that video. You have that video. Right, because you did not send that one to me. Oop. Wait, your mic's off. Oh, yes, I have that. Okay, good. So I will share that video. I thought you were talking about the other one. Anyway, and then that's when we'll do that at the end with Eric. Okay. Oh, and we have soak also. So if people have a soak offering, we're doing the brief Jigme Lingpa soak as well. Thank you. Your mic.
And Lama Lori is going to help lead us in that Tzok offering as well. So looking forward to that. Okay, Stephanie, will you put up the opening prayers and the request for the teachings? Omahon Shri Dechen Bawa Wangi Podandu Dendon Soso Tope Yeshiku Macha Denden Peme Ranjinle Dojeng Imang Awar Chempu Pao Chuku Ngawa Taye Doje Chuhu Jekten Wangshen Tuche Je Shaju Pema Gyapo Korde Nangwar Gyur Nganse Singyo Wangshen Heruka Sangwa Yeshe Vajravara Hi Hinten Chodope Gyapo De Chenter Malukio Yichuri Jima Chutun Chage Wanchu De Dunkar Wanzendo Je Pabo Dakitso Honantun Yampa Chempo Ngamnidu Doje Koye Kage Sing Sung Yo Game Sung Ki Shedre Kam Sungu Zamampo Korde Yom Nakya Haji Jindraksho Yojin Dupaje Doje Chapa Chempo Tunjingi Ngangi Nunjo Toto So So Shing Doje Chagyu Japa Chempo Yihing Anse Dewa Chempo Dom Jepa Taye Gyalcho Jawe Roka Chen Tuge Kompoje Warjin Jupe Ramjan Saso Wangze La So La Hagyupe So Hatep So Jinji Lop Chutun Nunjo Toku Patata Tome Wanju Jepe Nunju So Hong Ogen Yuche Noncha Sam Pema Gesa Dompola Yatsen Chuki Nonje Ne Pema June Shesudra Kodu kandro mampu kor keki jesu chachuki jinji lapshir shesu song guru pema sidi hum. Hum ogen yochi noncha sam pema gesa dompo la yatsen chuki nonjene pema june shesu ra Kordu kandro mampu kor keki jesu chachuki jinje lopshir shesu song guru pema sindi hum. Hum orgen yoche noncha sam pema gesar tompo la yatsen choki nonjene pema june shesu dra Kordu kandro mampu kor keki jesu tachuki jinje lopshir shesu song guru pema sidi hum. Shri Lama Pame Latso Lam Gosun Gupe Chatsalo Munjo Yicho Chepapo Mige Diektun Tolo Sha Dusun Zepar Jeyerang Lame Choko Korwar Kun Nyang Nyang Mide Juso Da Gitso Janchu Nimpo Ngo Kyandang Yawan Nanda Yerme Pe Kandrin Sunden Jinchen Lama Je Rigzen Jome Topten Jamso La Soa Depso Nyamlen Tarchen Sho Emen Cheki Yinki Petranen Dosun Sange Kungi Ngoworni Ransen Chuku Monsun Donze Pe Zawe Lame Shabla Soande Sa Shi Chu Chu Me Chu Shmi To Tram Reda Ninji Ninde Genpa Di Sange Shindu Mikde Po Wa Yi Joku Nanda Shin La Chupa Sho Edam Guru Rana Mandala Kamne Yatar Yarmi Samchen Namki Sampadang Lo Yi Che Chang Chitabu Che Chon Tomon Tepa Yi Choki Korlu Korlu So And then, Stephanie, I believe we want to record, right?
Yes, it is.
Great. So, am I playing the video? In which video am I playing first?
We'll have the question answered first. I have it up. I'll be sharing it.
Okay.
There are two aspects to the practice of the channels and rhythms. Zalung, channels and rhythms. One is a pure perception, mikpa, to seeing purely stainlessly. And the other is without any kind of object of reference. Also one with effort, which is effortful, and that which is free of effort. This is what we say is the convention of Zalung, the practice of the channels and winds.
maybe 咱用做些
The channel, the practice, having an object is the main one.
No,
So-
it's with effort.
Oh, sorry, is effortful, yes.
做几头些那呢？
And just as it is effortful,
咱什么就没教育？
it is inconceivable. The channels are inconceivable.
弄的你的气上有，
And the prana, the wind is lungi,
弄的你的气上有。
niti, oh, they're 20, 200, how many?
21,000.
21, really? Nietzsche.
Nietzsche.
Okay, 21,000 winds.
你家记了就啊耶，
Nisha Chigla, 20 of those are
Yiga.
are
你
changing.
家记了得用的，
They
201.
change or transform.
Yingyak Chik.
你们记，
Oh, Nima.
They
你
can all,
们都怎么记了？
in one, oh, those are, in one day there's this many.
咱的东抓登去有，东抓登
There
去
are,
咱
there。are also 70,000 channels.
东抓登去咱，登去咱呢。
Okay, yeah, 72,000 channels in the body.
好了，我也容易。
And there are 5 Korlo
Chakra.
chakras in the body. And
咱到弄到青蛙些，
the winds and the channels get bound up, tied up.
我弄红些，电弄难。
There is the lower wind and the upper wind.
到我崩板怎么办呢？
And these are held within the vase, the belly.
让我弄个八家上，
These purify the winds associated with bad predispositions, or with predispositions, habits.
让我再有这把大，
The root afflictions of the channels.
东抓登去咱，登去咱呢。
Okay, yeah, 72,000 channels in the body.
好了，我也容易。
And there are 5 Korlo
Chakra.
chakras in the body. And
咱到弄到青蛙些，
the winds and the channels get bound up, tied up.
我弄红些，电弄难。
There is the lower wind and the upper wind.
到我崩板怎么办呢？
And these are held within the vase, the belly.
让我弄个八家上，
These purify the winds associated with bad predispositions, or with predispositions, habits.
让我再有这把大，
The root afflictions of the channels
Are purified.
are purified.
你就做几把人，
Jinju.
你真是，你
Uh,
就
the breath going in, flowing in and out.
做吧，做些路都做了。
You need to
Practice.
have to practice with some effort.
啥我们弄个进口的角儿，
And the realm of the channels is transformed
弄个，咱弄真这闹上呗，
to purify. There's purification through the practice of the
闹
channels.
上的是吧？咱弄个真这的要不上的上了吧？
And if we practice with with the winds and the channels, then we become purified.
也得马里滚的角儿，
All of the good qualities manifest.
咱我们也跟快乐大，
The Zakam Yigi Korlota, the place of the channels become
咱我们也跟快乐大。
become wheels of letters. They're transformed into wheels of letters.
They're purified into that.
Into that, yes.
好，高松。
Do you understand?
咱呢，套不了，黑肉龙，
From the channels comes the wind of wisdom, Sherpulun,
好说咋套
Zoto.
No, does.
But the method of the channels,
Channels are method, and the winds are wisdom.
啊 yes 明年没多我完钱了
non-abiding, miner, tufi,
明年
mine.
明年吧明年吧
There is the non-abiding,
明年没多
ganasane.
对明年吧
There's non-abiding,
没多吧
non-realization.
那么没多比一些
Oh yes, there's
Mine-
Conceptual, not conceptual.
non-abiding, non-conceptual
我完钱
meditation arises.
我吧
Gomba.
我
Realization, Gomba, Dao Kana Gona.
Enlightenment.
大家的光啊是给
Yeah, the
我吧我吧
Yes, non-conceptual enlightened intent. It's often translated as grace mind arises through this.
我完钱
Gomba,
钱还不是
char, goes
오케이. 야. 什么在路记得上？
Just to practice Zalung without effort, just as it is.
昨天弄着一般的，
That probably, such a one probably is a Dzogchen yogi.
咱论真这些吧的，
The way, this method of holding the practice of Zalung,
弄根真气讨，咱弄根真气讨老人，
this is the method path
人把ton气话给讨老的是，
for
Zamba.
holding and grasping,
弄气，
holding holding and binding the breath.
用到多半气话了，
The correct realization.
用到比多半气话了，
For the arising of correct realization,
这把些吧你蹲住了，这把些吧，
we need to
这把，
get rid of afflictions, obstacles, obstructions. We have to get rid of obstructions. Jiva.
这把你就那意思，这把些吧
They
你
have
蹲
to
住。
be, they have to be transformed.
人面多半钱的呢，这把没比个多半要我进钱的呢，
And if we can actually realize the emptiness, which is the absence of obstructions, right?
人这里被张龙上，
Then we are.
人把都早没给别个张龙的上，
Then that is how we practice, train in the Zalung, which is free of effort and purified from.
龙的让啥你都好，
The energy, the winds are self-clarifying. Rangsel,
让啥，
Rangsar, right in their own spot. They are liberated.
可能让啥你都好，
They just
They're
they
relaxed
rest.
into their-
They relax right in their own place.
啥的让个家也通，
And the channels right themselves, Jayatong,
家也
expand.
家也是那孩子，
Yeah, expensive.
Yeah, expand.
家也是那是，
It's Gyatong.
家也
This word,
Gyayan,
yeah, I
Gyayan
know.
is like expensive.
They expand.
家
So
也
they're
通，
not bound anymore. They're open.
干的大比公巴当，
The primordially pure grace mind and
甚至周边多半你，
spontaneous realization, these two
让银行跟瞧人家了，
naturally arise within.
弄一等米一些事，
What is within is primordially wisdom.
弄一
Non yin, the inner yin, the inner space.
等米。
Primordially,
Demi gira,
from the
dama
very
ni.
beginning,
Demi, ishi,
is wisdom.
se,
Set extinguishes.
Integrate.
Sit.
Oh, open, awakened,
Oh,
awakened.
set, awakes up. Yes.
sada ge se.
Wakes up. Yes.
Non ton chuba, zem ni che.
And the proliferation of thoughts is just completely
Non to chuba,
is cut. right?
吃吧是吧？
Chuba.
真的吃着了，真
Yes,
的。
it's just finished, right? Chu,
Cut
cut.
from the
真的
root.
吃着了，
It's
吃。
cut from the root, it's severed at the root.
嘿，一早你都早上去，一早你都。
Sheets of me, the collection.
一早你都在那，一早不见不起嘛，就印度用啥什么见着我的是的嘞？
And then one it becomes a Buddha again from the very ground of Dzogchen itself.
OK OK。
Okay, okay. And and now we'll go into the line of faith. Is that right? Okay. And so, since we've already done a few of the opening prayers, we can just turn to page 6 of our document. And there's here just 2 more invocation, or 3 more invocation prayers, and then we'll start the line of faith. Kyabne rigzen janso jipel che peme duni doje lama ye kiewa dine tsera tamche do tsewe tuki drame jeshune japke dampa dutsi drbe junzen pe jiwa rapchun pe Kunji yeshe gupan yuto ne kansun kiegu de ponche parsho. Kyabne gyawa nanda yerme pe kanjen sunden drenchen lama je rigzen jorme tupten jamsola sowa depso nyamen tachen sho. And now we'll do the 9 breaths. We're on page 9. Okay, just had to take myself off spotlight. Okay. And we'll start with the opening homage. Namo Guru Ranre Palden Lamala Rango Shepe Chapsuchi Semye Yejo Ranjende Maton Rola Semkendo. To the glorious Lama, my own absolute clarity, recognizing my own true face, I go for refuge. The nature of primordially liberated essence of mind gives rise to bodhicitta for those wandering beings who don't realize that. Ah, Rang re panden lama la rango shepe chapsu chi semni yen ro ranjen de maton ro la sem kien do. And then we'll do the generation in English. In the sky in front of me, in the midst of a vivid rainbow light, on top of a pile of precious silken cushions, is the glorious Guru, beautifully smiling, whose form is adorned with the 3 Dharma robes and the tall Pandit hat, hands in the teaching mudra, legs in Vajrasana, looking at me with joyful eyes, clearly present, appearing yet empty, like a moon reflected in water. Seven branch prayer. Shri Gyupe Chatsa Chepapu Diksha Gela Jeye Ran Choko Korne Tantenju Getso Oso Yinsu Ngo. In English. Shri, I prostrate respectfully and make offerings. I confess negative actions and rejoice in virtue. Please turn the wheel of the Dharma and remain stably. I dedicate the virtues gathered in the basic space of luminosity. Shri Gyupe Chatsa Chepapu Disha Gela Jeye Rang Choko Kone Taten Shu Getso Osa Yinsu No. Supplication. Kyabnen Janse Jepa Chen Yerme Tupten Jamso Lan Kanjen Jimpe Sowa Den Chedan Tumon Nundru So. And the heart mantra of Rinpoche. Om Ahum Vidyandaracharya Munishasa Samudra Sarva Siddhihum. Om Ahum Vidyandaracharya Munishasa Samudra Sarva Siddhihum. Om Ahum Vidyadhara Akshara Munishasa Samudra Sarva Siddhihum. Om Ahum Vidyandaracharya Munishasa Samudra Sarva Siddhihum. Om Ahum Vidyandaracharya Akshara Munishasa Samudra Sarva Siddhihum. Om Ahum Vidyadhara Akshara Munishasa Samudra Sarva Siddhihum. Om Ahum Vidyadhara Akshara Munishasa Samudra Sarva Siddhihum. Om Ahum Vidyadhara Akshara Munishasa Samudra Sarva Siddhi Hum. Om Ahum Vidyadhara Akshara Munishasa Samudra Sarva Siddhi Hum. Om Ahum Vidyadhara Akshara Munishasa Samudra Sarva Siddhi Hum. Om Ahum Vidyadhara Akshara Munishasa Samudra Sarva Siddhi Hum. Om Ahum Vidyadhara Akshara Munishasa Samudra Sarva Siddhi Hum. Om Ahum Vidyadhara Akshara Munishasa Samudra Sarva Siddhi Hum. Om Ahum Vidyadhara Akshara Munishasa Samudra Sarva Siddhi Hum. Om Ahum Vidyadhara Akshara Munishasa Samudra Sarva Siddhi Hum. Om Ahum Vidyadhara Akshara Munishasa Samudra Sarva Siddhi Hum. Om Ahum Vidyadhara Akshara Munishasa Samudra Sarva Siddhi Hum. Supplication in English. Great universal glory of oceans of refuge, Girme Tutanjatsu, to you I pray, remembering your kindness, please grant the supreme and ordinary cities. Om Ahum Vidyadhara Akshara Munishasa Samudra Sarva Siddhi Hum. Om Ahum Vidyadhara Akshara Munishasa Samudra Sarva Siddhi Hum. Om Ahum Vidyadhara Akshara Munishasa Samudra Sarva Siddhi Hum. Om Ahum Vidyadhara Akshara Munishasa Samudra Sarva Siddhi Hum. Om Ahum Vidyadhara Akshara Munishasa Samudra Sarva Siddhi Hum. Vidyandarakshara Munishasa Samudra Sarva Siddhi Om Ahom 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 Vidyandarakshara Munishasa Samudra Sarva Siddhi Back to the supplication. Kyamnen jansa jepel chin, yome tupten jam sola, kanjen jimpis hoade, chedan tu munundro so. Om Ahom Vidyandarakshara Munishasa Samudra Sarva Siddhi Om Ahom Vidyandarakshara Munishasa Samudra Sarva Siddhi Om Ahom Vidyandarakshara Munishasa Samudra Sarva Siddhi Om Ahom Vidyandarakshara Munishasa samudra sarva siddhihum. Om Ahom Vidyadarakshara 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 Munishasa Samudra Sarva Siddhihum. Okay, thank you. Let's just sit a moment with Rinpoche, and then we'll continue with Silk. Okay. So Stephanie, I believe Lori wants to do some prayers.
Yes, I have the Heart of Vajrasattva. I'll share it right now on the screen.
But we do that after the
No, it comes before.
before. Great.
Confession comes before so.
Let's do it.
Silko, you just have to shut your mic while Lori speaks.
Stephanie, you're echoing. Oh, can you let me okay. So this is a special confession prayer. It's a terma, and we'll read it in English first, and then it has a catchy melody. So the heart of Vajrasattva, the heart confession of the king of purification practices. Om, primordial Buddha Samantabhadra, the ground of being. O Vajrasattva, Vajra Tathagata, great hero, Lord and protector of beings, turn your love towards us, gaze on us with eyes of wisdom. Ah, all is from the beginning unborn and primordially pure, yet conceptual thoughts arise momentarily in our deluded minds, cause ignorance, dualistic perception, impairments and breakages, which we confess now in the expanse of the Dharmadhatu, Mother of utter purity. Vajra, Lord of secrets, Vajrapani, who declares Vajra decree, of all the 100,000 secret samayas, the body, speech, mind, whichever views we have impaired or pledges we have broken, with deep remorse and regret, we acknowledge and confess them. Sattva. Now the time has elapsed for impairments to become false, and the causes of harsh retributions commanded by the Vajradakinis, whose stern task it is, I confess, obstructed this life and the next, and by accomplishing the causes of the great hells. Hum, king of passion, the great primordial Vajra, free from all conceptual references, beyond all impairments or confession, is Samantabhadra, always perfect, the vast expanse of Rigpa, ever present as the space of Dharmadhatu. Ah. Let me go back to the top. I'll sing it sort of, it's a real done fast, but I'll sing it easily. Om Shito Dangpo Sangye Kuntu Sang Dorje Sempa Dorje Je Shek Shek Pawo Chempo Drowa Kyoko Gong Gaglat Ser Gong Ye She Chen Gizik Adune Make Ne Nam Trakyang Truk Morlo Bashar We Kuntule Maring Sun Sin Ke Nam Nam Chak Kun Dak Chen Ching Yum Gi Long Du Shak Satwa Sang Wei Dak Po Dorje Nam Trak Pa Kusum Tuk Sum Samaya Bungi Dam Le Nyam Sing Disig Le Gya Wei Gang Rab Tu Nu Shing Gu Pe Cholo Shak Sattva Nyampa Kun Gu Gur Pe Du Le Ne Le Ki Ne Sin Dorje Kandro Yi Kai Chakpa Dakpo Gur Gur Pe Di Chi Drib Gur Nam Sin Chulo Shak Pe Hung Dud Pe Gyalpo Ye Ne Dorje Che Mi Sum Ni Ching Nam Dak Shakpal Trao Kun Tu Zangpo Rig Pe Kuntu Zampo Yezok Rigpe Long Du Trame Pa Chuyin Long Du Om Bintu Sata Samaya Mani Palaya Bintu Sata Tendupa Titu Titu Me Bawa Supukaya Me Bawa Supukaya Me Bawa Naraka Me Bawa Sarvasiti Me Prayasa Karma Sutsume Sitam Shri Yam Guru Naho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Benjamin Imusa Bindrimawa Mahasamaya Sato Hom Pe. So then we go into the Jigme Lingpa soap prayer, repeat it a number of times. And you can imagine, if you don't have a shrine set up, that there's a soap shrine with offering bowls and images of the guru and flowers and nice things, and a table displaying, overflowing with food offerings that we're making. And the key elements in the soap offering are alcohol and meat. So Stephanie, did you want to share the screen for the soap prayer? You can.
It's in the text, in the back of the text for everybody.
It should be on page 18.
Page 18, let me get there. Okay, so it is page 18. Scrolling.
Okay.
I'm not there yet. Oops. Oh, shoot. Yeah.
Tulku, just check your mic if Lori is going to lead us.
She's going to lead it. Great.
Not this. Ramyam kamo mahong sokse dudyan yeshe rope gang sokse sokdag rigzim lamadang densum kil cornerius perse dog pawo kondro dam sin sokunam du shake dum fo soki tu pashe gyaltramon Drang dam sig dam shak shak trinam parche chukim subro laktor shela trinle druparso Guru Deva Dakini Gana Chakra Puja Ho Utsi Chabaling Takahi Ramyam Kam Moma Hong Sokse Didyan Yeshe Rope Gang Sokse Sokta Brixin Lama Dam Densum Kil Corneri Yeshe Dam Pawo Kandro Dam Chin Chukunam Dishe Lang Suk Suki Chupa She Gal Tramon Dam Dam Signam Chak Chak Chinam Barche Chuki Im Sudro Laktor Shela Trinle Druparcho Guru Deva Dakini Gana Chakra Puja Ho Utsi Tabaling Chakahi Ramyam Kamo Mahom Sokse Dibyan Yeshe Ropen Gang Sokse Sokta Brixin Lamadam Densum Kil Corneri Yeshe Dam Pawo Kandro Dam Chin Chukunam Dear Shelam So Suki Chupa She Galtramon Dam Dam Signam Chak Chak Chinam Barche Chuki In Sudro Laktor Shela Trinle Druparsho Guru Deva Dakini Gana Chakra Puja Ho Utsi Chabaling Takahi Ramyam Kamo Mahom Sokse Dudyan Yeshe Rope Gang Sokse Sokta Grixin Lamadam Densum Kil Corneri Yeshe Dag Pawo Kandro Dam Sin Chukunam Dear Shelang So Chuki Chupa She Galtramon Dam Dam Signam Chak Chak Chinam Barche Chuki In Sudro Laktor Shela Trinle Druparsho Guru Deva Dakini Gana Chakra Puja Ho Utsi Tabaling Takahi. Enjoy the soak.
Alala ho. Well, if anybody would like to share anything, any songs of realization, or maybe spontaneous poems of devotion to the Lama, please feel free to to share, and I believe anyone can unmute.
I'll do a spontaneous poem. Maybe you should wait though. Thanks. Ah, Lama, so far yet so near. Ah, Lama, may I always be held in your heart. May I always follow your heart. Ah, Lama, Tutuche.
Let's see. Maybe I'll try a little something spontaneous. Hmm. In my heart's secret, you lit a flame. O Guru, your presence is radiant, pure, and bright. I bow down in reverence, in devotion so deep for you. You are the guiding light that keeps me on the path. Through trials and sometimes triumphs, you lead the way through your example. Your wisdom is the beacon that I follow in every passing day. With unwavering faith and devotion, our hearts are intertwined. O Guru, your love shines bright in my heart. With every breath, I am graced by your presence, the boundless ocean of wisdom in the vastness of our minds. With a humble heart, we walk this sacred path with you. In the Guru's presence, our spirits or our spiritual path unfolds. Let the journey be walked together, hand in hand, together with your love. We walk the path. This devotion is melodious in every way, for you are in my heart that lights my way. Don't do that. Don't do that very often. Okay. Yes, somebody want to say something?
I just want to clarify one thing with the introduction. when I have only one title, which is Chupan, and that's an acknowledgement of what I do. And because Rinpoche called me his Chupan. Although I did a hour-long retreat, at the end of the retreat, there was no investiture or anything about lamas. There were like, there were 9 of us, and we had a closing soak in our retreat. And nobody, none of the lamas or anybody said anything to us. They just said, bye.
But you're my Lama Chupan, Lori.
Okay.
Guru Chupanji. I was inspired to do that poem because, or poem, whatever. For whatever reason, I was thinking about doing prostrations in my 20s, and I would spend hours doing prostrations, and so I would recite the refuge and bodhicitta lines going down, and then going up, I would just spontaneously just whatever came to like of praises to the Lama, I would just utter them in that moment as I was coming up. And it was a way of like focusing the mind as well. But I would spend hours just, doing prostrations and, praising Rinpoche and his qualities for whatever just came up spontaneously in the moment. And so I was thinking about that actually when Lori was reciting the prayer. And so just feeling Rinpoche present and knowing that he's with us and that we are not two, but one. So just so grateful to have Adzan Pela Rinpoche as my root teacher, and even as he said, he plucked me out of samsara, and this is what he said, like what he did, I plucked you out of samsara like this. But yes, out of samsara now into dharma samsara. So but please, somebody else share.
I thought I would mention, since it is Saga Dawa and we are having soak, and you are so brave to close out to make an offering to us. I just wanted to share that I'm remembering that 28 years ago during Saga Dawa was when Ridson Droma and Reverend Annette and I and a handful of other pilgrims walked up to Samye Chimpuk and walked into a small room and was first introduced and taught by the wondrous who knew Adzan Pela Rinpoche. So I'm just remembering that at this moment.
Did he teach anything in that moment?
He said, would you like me to teach you as a group or to teach you individually? And so at that time, her name was Anne Klein, now Ridson Droma, said individually. So my first teaching from Adzan Pela Rinpoche for the next few days was Simtri.
Did you commit to Nundro?
At that time, one did not need to. It wasn't until 1999 when we hosted him in Portland. And I was the only person who had ever met him, set up a number of evenings and empowerments And one of the evenings I had named Dzogchen because everybody loves Dzogchen. And the other one I named Nunjo. So he walked into the room, which was named Nunjo. And he said, oh, Dzogchen, Dzogchen, Dzogchen. And then he began to teach Nunjo on the Dzogchen evening and Dzogchen on the Nunjo evening. And that's when the commitment came. And we had to raise our hands, of course. Thank you.
I remember a story being at Jacqueline's house, Lama Jacqueline, when she wasn't Lama Jacqueline. And it was, I believe, 1999. And he was doing POA. And what I remember was his incredible humility, because first we filed into his room that he was sitting in Jetsuma, and he recited some kind of thing, and I'm sure he was. My sense is he was opening up a central channel, but what did I know at the time? I knew he was doing something mysterious. And then on the last day, someone came at the very last day of POA, and he said, okay, we're all here sitting in a circle in Jacqueline's living room. And he said, okay, now we're all going to help him get the signs. So he had all of us saying, pet. Obviously, he was doing it himself, but this incredible humility that he always showed to include everyone. He just acted like he was nobody special. And I remember being so incredibly touched by that. Anyway.
I have a poem I could share. Mountain, mighty mountain, bridge between earth and sky, an anchor stabilizing the ground from which all arise, pinning sky in place with purple point. You are the mountain most high, timeless and vast as space, bridge between heart and mind, beckoning always to the quiet place within motion, the dance within stillness. Beckoning when I've lost my way, your teachings a torch, a beacon, a floodlight, illuminating the path before me. You are the mountain of far off lands, and yet there's a bridge that connects us, somehow across miles and lifetimes, heart to heart, mind to mind. There's no separation, you tell us. Logical mind clouds the view, yet there are treasures tucked within verses, jewels hidden in each syllable of mantra. They are mountain seeds, awaiting the proper causes and conditions to emerge, warmed by the sun of compassion, watered by the devotion of our hearts, nurtured by your faith in the nature of all beings. May the mountain seeds you cast take root, our offerings to you.
I love the hearts.
I'm just going to say something. When I was with Rinpoche at Paramandala once out in the meadow, and he was giving like the most amazing, longest transmission ever. This sort of speaks what Jacqueline was said about his humility. I was like, whoa. I went up to him and face to face and said, oh, thank you, Rinpoche. Wow, I don't know what to say. And he's just, instead of going, thank you, or whatever, he said, that's the blessing of the Lama. And I was like, wow, I got this great realization that is what it is. And he didn't take it onto himself as I'm this. He was like giving it to the great Ying open space. It's beautiful. Plus, when he came that day, as his car was driving up around from the bottom of the land to the middle of the land, the sky turned purple. I was like, wow. Thank you.
He really is a master of meditation and miracle. And some years ago, I received some ring cell from him that comes from his body. And I remember at the time, he was like, "Oh, let me give you two, because when they're two, then they make babies." And so maybe like a week or two ago, I opened up my little place, like I have a little stupa with it in, and I looked and I was like, "So any?" And there was a third. Which is very, I guess, one should expect it because that's what they say, but I was not expecting it. And those are the blessings of the Lama, right? Ever increasing. I wish I could pull it out because I don't think you can really see them. It's not that kind of camera, but let me see.
Yes, we can see them.
There you go. Okay, Lama Kieno. I'm kind of excited to hear this message from Rinpoche. I listened to it in Tibetan, so I got maybe a tenth of it. But we have Lama Eric with us. And should we do that now, or should we dedicate and then start fresh? What do you think, Stephanie?
Well, just in case
Dedicate.
in case people want to leave, let's dedicate and then we'll, yep.
Okay. And then we can also share that recording with the general community after.
And I just want you to know I have it ready, so you don't have to pull it.
Okay. Okay, so we go back to page 12, dissolution. And we'll say this in English. The glorious Lama melts into light. The three gates of my being become inseparable with the three kayas. in the immediacy of uncontrived primordial purity without beginning, spontaneously present from projecting or gathering. Ah. Dedication on page 13. We'll do this in English. By this merit, may I swiftly attain the state of the Vidyadhara Guru. May all beings, without one exception, be established on that very level. And chip in, we'll do the protectors. Ramyam kamo mahum, Ramyam kamo mahum, Ramyam kamo mahum. Om Pade Meka Jate Dan, Jamsum Kyapsu Rahula, Damchen Doje Lepaso, Ninken Nempo Tensun So, Damsen Dutse Tomabu, Ngauso Dala Gumchunzo, Zoe Tinme Maya Do, Hong Pade Meka Jate Dan, Jamsum Kyapsu Rahula, Damchen Doje Lepaso, Ninken Nempo Tensun So, Damsen Dutse Tomabu, Ngauso Dala Gumchunzo, Zoe Tinme Maya Do, Hong Pade Meka Jate Dan, Jamsum Kyapsu Rahula, Damchen Doje Lepaso, Ninten Nyampa Tenson So, Damsen Dutse Tomabu, Ngauso Dala Gumchunzo, Zoe Tinme Maya Do. And then we have a short Gesar invocation. Ke Doyon Wanchu Drala Gyawo Che Zamling Senchen Norbu Dradu Tsel Pado Sunju Kordang Jewala Solo Chodu Jepe Chenenzo. The Long Life Prayer. Om Swasti Lume Kyabnen Janso Tunjenji Tenjong Gompo Drinchen Chocheje Yume Tupten Janso Pazampo Shampen Tenchin Zechen Konkyasho. Jetsuma's Long Life Prayer. Om Swasti Ramjang Yawa Kungi Dentoki Jetsun Jume Namchu Chime Wang Chupe Doga Shera Chutsu Chu Shape Tenchin Zechin Kunkya Sho. Prayer for all lamas.
Hugo, so I'll do your long life prayer first. Om Swasti, heart son of Padmasambhava, Vimalamitra and Varochana, the Nirmanakaya manifestation of the accomplished master Yudra Ningpo. Vidyadhara Osel Dorje, you are the supreme jewel of the Dharma and beings. May your lotus feet be steadfast and your enlightened activities flourish.
May all the lamas have good health. May their lives be long and excellent in every way. May their enlightened activities flourish. And may we have the blessings to be inseparable from our teachers. The prayer for the people of this earth. At this very moment, may the people and nations of this earth not even hear the words disease, famine, war, or suffering. May pure conduct merit wealth and prosperity increase. May supreme well-being and good fortune arise always. Nanjarek sulana chukuna kundang yesheropa jamlepe zanzan no jochen punyam lela yerme tuki te lero shesho. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Tenopa Chistachivo Mebaba Sutukaya Mebaba Subukaya Mebaba Anaratu Mebaba Sarvasiddhi Meparata Sabakarmatutsame Chitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Om Bhagavan Sarvatatakata Vajramane Munza Vajribhava Maha Samaya Sattva Ahum Pet. Okay. Thank you everyone. That completes our soak and practice. And Eric, are you ready?
Yeah. But just a little warning. If it's challenging, I'm gonna have to do it later. But let's see how far I can go with it.
Sounds good.
Depending on what speed he's talking at and all that.
Yes.
And to those, I'll just shut your, yeah. And I just want to say, from my heart, from all of our hearts, Eric, thank you for agreeing to just come on today. It's just such a gift for Saga Dawa, and deepest appreciation.
Okay, well, let's see. Oh, speed teaching. For the reflect upon all sentient beings as vast as the extent of space. Get your bodhicitta nice and fresh. Get that empathy finally for all beings, and listen intently to the teachings of the Lama. So with the intention to listen completely to the Dharma and to put it into practice, listen to these teachings intently. So everybody listen well. He's sort of exhorting everyone. He's saying, just listen up really well. We're now attending this auspicious occasion here where all the interdependent links have converged together to create this auspiciousness. And in one way, we can say that we're all here assembled at this great monastic institution, Gunchen, to engage in aspiration prayers, to engage in Gana Chakra pujas, to basically bring forth the seeds of enlightenment. So some of the wondrous things that are happening, very auspicious actions, are offering of thousands of mandala offerings, and then engaging in the release of animals, those that have life force. Soklu, it's called, releasing life. And then there are numerous people at this very moment engaged in the fasting practice of Nyungne. So this is creating a tremendous auspiciousness. And at the same time, simultaneously, I'm endeavoring to establish the various regions of Tibet in the practice of karze, which means just in having a diet of the white substances. So that means no meat, positive eating, not negative eating. So Rinpoche is trying to establish that in the various districts of Tibet. So today, in particular, I'm emphasizing the virtuous diet of the karze, the white substances. This is a great thing. We are all practicing this on this very occasion of Saga Dawa. It's particularly important to observe that. And so we should really all be celebrating. What are we primarily celebrating? The fact that we've achieved this precious human rebirth and we have this opportunity to encounter the Dharma. This is something truly to celebrate. So, having said that, we have this human body, which is an excellent support for the practice. We now need to direct it for meaningful activity. It's not enough just to have a precious human rebirth, but one needs to direct it towards that which is truly meaningful, is dundan, having real meaning, and not to sort of waste one's life in a cavalier way, just letting it, dissipate, but truly embark on something which is meaningful. And not waste one's life. And so Dharma is really that meaning that we can engage in. So one should really take to heart this situation and look seriously at one's predicament. To truly take to heart this amazing situation where we have this body. If you think about it, there's no substitute to having a human body. There's no other way. This is the way. Everything's perfect there. We have the perfect instrument. So we should train our mind into valuing that situation. We should look at it. We should be there gauging the fact that, I have this precious human body that stems, it's not some random occurrence. It's not some accidental thing, but there's a history behind it, the generation of the precious human body. It's the outcome of previous karmas. It's called ledro. It's the action of karma unfolding that produced this body, but this is from previous lifetimes. So it's an incredibly precious situation, and yet this is the part we really need to contemplate. There is impermanence. Impermanence is ever active. We have this preciousness, but we are in an environment that is incredibly impermanent. So it's the nature of impermanence. And yet simultaneously with this impermanence operating behind us, as it were, We are being pushed along by our karmas. And that's a complicated situation. That's a dangerous situation because we do not know what kind of karmas are behind us, propelling us along. There could be some negative surprises there that we are unaware of. So now we know that, we are observing karma. We realize that positive actions will lead to a more happier disposition in the future. And then negative actions will lead towards suffering.
Tenen 종지 다 가서 최전에 최전에 된다 마시버리 어디에 있는데 너나 너바 처음에 투로 야고지 야네 아니 하나 정게 될까 좀 롱로크 사자 가나 이나야 또저 마제데 사야라 휴체로 마제데 사야데 휴체로 마제 가사가라 마젠 자도메라 사도와 파르보 선진게 소라 나라도 저些这个 操了 소라 那是动物多
And so there's the inevitable ripening of the karmas, and we cannot go beyond that reality. The nature of that reality, it's inviolable. You can't transgress it. It will operate. That is the operation of karma. There's no going beyond it. So one needs to really be vigilant about observing it and not engaging in futile activities that generate. And he thinks those is consuming sentient beings, who are the object of compassion. We have to rearrange our relationship that we have with beings. They're not there for our consumption. So realizing that what's most dear amongst all beings, for all beings, is their life. All life forms hold their life as dearest. And so we should adopt this attitude of wishing not to harm any being, a non-violent attitude, which is fundamental to Buddha Dharma. And just have that general attitude that one will not harm any beings. And so it's towards this end that, where people can have a better relationship with animals. It's for that reason that Rinpoche has established restaurants in different areas that gain no profit. They are non-profit restaurants. So he can encourage this better lifestyle, non-violent lifestyle.
좀 밑에 이点도 파르베 소라 나지시 마고야 단 샤샤사 마고야 좀 쇼나 팀마로 삼네 어야 단 처음에 비게 롬도 루스 가제에서 야고 휴지를 삼네 다데사 사나 빵네 다페 땅이여 아니 조보데 당라야 판사리.
So in this lifetime, we should endeavor not to harm others and try to avoid the consuming of flesh and blood. It's not worth it. It's not the right way. And so therefore, Rinpoche says, I always promote kardze, in the positive diet of white substances. Yeah, so that's basically it. I always promote that. Also, Rinpoche is saying that it actually has, as a side effect, it's really good for your health too.
Yeah. Then we soon shall lie. Permission never change. Yeah, that round of century, Sana Town in Naya, Dayan Yumba. ngara ya rang la jianzhen yore ane ngara rang la jianzhen yoba no yi senchen rang la so so rang la jianzhen yore tene imbe indi jianzhen tene yoba no yinge ane nga zo jianzhen dagre shaya de peche bori sa jianzhen dagre shaya de ma do para boga jie yinba de so yinbe ge so toro jie yinbe ge lu de tor ne ane rang meba 강아 첨보지 짜야지 돼 답에 도리 쉬워지
So, so it starts off with seeing others as being precious, as being important, protecting the welfare of others, protecting their happiness. So this practice involves not just seeing others as very important and precious, but oneself is also precious. So this is equalizing the preciousness of oneself and others. There's a mutual value there. I hold myself dear, and other beings hold themselves dear. I hold them dear. So we've equalized this whole situation where everyone is held dear and cherished. This is called exchanging oneself for others. But if one contradicts that and engages in behavior where there's the loss of life of a sentient being, at a time when one knows better, when one has, Rangwang means self-mastery. That means that one has the independence and freedom to make choices oneself. And if one has those choices, one is bringing about self-harm, actually. If you harm others knowingly, then that's bringing about harm to self.
야우 마리 다 다리 나야 되쇼라 땅에게 보마 라마 심바오마 아니 그 라마 심바오마 요리 다 다리 라마 시롱 슈셰테나 라마 트라시셰 아니 코노바야 파게도 아니 다 다리 라마 아토브리 라마 대진이 마리 아니 대차츠는 총 먹은도 총마 로서 게니에 먹어요 총에 투시 자나바 투시 상보지 셰네 아
So this, I encourage this with my disciples, not, and so this is Sherab, Lama Sherab, Natub, and Teichin Yingma, and many who have had the householder vows, the Genyan, the 5 vows.
처음에 휴 잡네 안에 나쇼아 나바서 조마 탐제 그다 니르근 소안데라 조조지 셰레 가세세아이나 아니 마세세아디 휴게 도르고도 고소아 다 젠데라 가르서 그러고서나 싱와르게 초와서나 안다레 제달라 야미사게 초아미라와지 고도와 아들의 이메인데 상하 심보도 된점모데 초와 야고jo이나 아니 휴게 당아도 선생님 샤샤란 초와 가서 싱원이라고도 되네 이게 점모라고 돼서 파 매바서네 들으시에서 이나 갈래갈래 아니 초기 되게 몬서게 리다 아니 샤라거리다
So I'm really promoting, putting a lot of energy behind the vegetarian diet, the karze, the white, engaging in nonviolent behavior and consuming karze, white foods, and trying to marginalize the red foods, which are basically a carnivore diet, that kind of diet. But there's the problem of people having to have a livelihood. And so this is a dilemma. So trying to find different types of livelihood for those people who are relying on, yaks and so on, animals, subsisting on meat, the nomads, basically. Rinpoche is trying to help the nomads.
说什么到这边什么了对的兄弟吧，他说，说去到这个，要我这边大家跟前开始看的，那跟拉差不多吧，他的兄弟呢，他们是要我的3年，那几年个的说那不差个样的，也在那边的，那几年个地方的了上了当，身边个少的个人，少个人当了上了当呢，那个这些的从当就没去啊。买给你缺也好些就蛮缺啊，没这些的缺多这些都对嘛都没真的地买给了上当，俺让健身了上了可能当没呢，没真的要用嘛的，但那没人的那呢没真的眼看个上了的了上了要我就当呢，那那把这别说当，那来上不啥的蛮缺些呢，年代的学会哟，那从面别个些的最早别个的。身边个说了上了当呢，刚才的呀，我就写都对，像你这的叫了呀，我就写都对，但是。
So we need to consider the fact that there are a few things going on here. One is it harms the body and the mind, the psychology and the body. And also, one has robbed beings of something that is priceless, which is their life force, which means that one is now muddled up one's Dharma practice. One sort of polluted one's Dharma practice because one had brought harm to beings. And so one's health declines, one's lifestyle diminishes, and one's Dharma goes astray. So in place of that, we should endeavor to raise the quality of our life by cultivating lots of love and compassion and not lose focus on the primary purpose, which is to benefit others. Don't lose focus of that. Don't let your Dharma be corrupted. Realize the value of life and generate lots of love and compassion. And in this way, you'll upgrade your life. Your lifestyle. Rinpoche is talking about a general lifestyle also here, not just the Dharma, but your life.
些因为他呢，让些跟刚才了没过这些呢，要学的人都生活的过程啊，刚才那等那了拍，刚才找啥人工要穷些，什么要被逼在等吧些，马上找为那说跟说渐些啥的。但是没毛家谁多，刚才看把那亚罗的个是，错没啥子那个东西啊，电话他西部不错的嘞，马上看到那的，但这个电话上这个错了的呢，呀电话没别个错啊，什么没西的错啊，用都是错了的老多啊，但因啥的，那把是这些的，你上我送给身边的西姑姑罗，送到姑姑罗，第一刚刚嘎哈的对呢，让一个的那个等你的当。되네 미디어라에 초과되는 레고요리 어디에 생편돼서 대시도 데비토네 파 시규야지를 마도 동안
So in our endeavor to benefit beings, we should then promote vegetarianism. We should bring it into our families. We should introduce it to others. It's also economical. It's not as expensive as meat. So there are a lot of benefits, and also it's quite enjoyable. You can make it's not expensive and very enjoyable. Rinpoche is commenting on what people have experienced right now when they go to one of his vegetarian restaurants. They say as they are walking up the stairs, they're feeling peace and joy. It has a completely different vibe than when you go to one of those extreme meat eating, carnivore palaces in China, where it's a total slaughter and the vibe is not really good. So people have commented to Rinpoche that they feel very different when they go to one of his places that he's offered for vegetarian dining. One of the things is that as an animal is dying, because they have emotions and concepts and so on, feelings like we do. There's an intense experience of fear and terror. And that feeling it's penetrating the food, and it even is penetrating the people around. People who slaughter animals, they felt it. If people who've been around an animal that was slaughtered, they imbibe, they absorb some of the negativity that's happening, right? They can feel it. It's tangible feeling.
처음에 넘어서 총화탄 산나탄 배치된지 신도 시와lên 아니 별창하게 아니 아주 배배 개조시네 아마서와도 많은 넘어 뒤녀시를 전나니 상주의 센스나다데 이제디 야고 요거르다 이지 소정 야고 요거르 어디네인데 이지 야고 시네 아니 생야라 너서서 마타라치 세네 네 쉬어 마이도 채널은 된거요 아니 넘어서 다이 뒤로 넘어 군도 있는데 야마그 세선 뒤로 있는데 어디 들으시네 처음에 가세데라 되네 매천이가 오지시 가세데라 쪼아야 오지시
So this whole appalling situation of animals dying and then we're absorbing that negativity, we should try to bring that to an end. We are Tibetans. We have to remember the Rinpoche's audience there. We are Tibetans, and we were born in a place where when we've exited the moon, our mother's womb, we immediately learn the mantra Om Mani Padme Hum. We are surrounded by mountains, but we're also surrounded by Dharma. And so we should avail ourselves of that benefit and practice in a spirit of compassion and love. Demonstrate love and compassion for all beings. It's really incumbent upon us, having been born in a Dharma country. And so therefore, there's only one thing I really say a lot, and that is practice virtue. Do not harm others. Try to do it at all the times, not just on special occasions, not on memorial days and so on, positive days, but in all days, days and night, where, everywhere. Just practice virtue. Indulge in vegetarian diet and try to enjoy it too. It's very enjoyable. It's not just about abstaining, but we can enjoy fine vegetarian dining.
Zubo detang yawo yongona kazela mbeje tere ya sendeto simani ga dewala di yongona dewa to dembashe gona kazela mbeje tere ya ane ranjen ni ga ranyo gu tatu yongona kazela san tangure senjen gu tseso gu rinton san tangwena kaze sagure kaze sugure o tere me yende nabatse dido nabakondo kazela ane tuji tenne.
So have lots of devotion. Practice vegetarianism. If you want to be happy in this lifetime, be a vegetarian. If you want to benefit beings, be a vegetarian. If you want to have good health, then be a vegetarian. If you want to be happy in this lifetime and also you are concerned about your future destiny in your next lifetime, be a vegetarian. If you want all beings to be happy, be a vegetarian.
Oya ran tseri neme yungona kazi shena tere lama yoju meba tengere o tere yume yindu kazi mba yidu tenba sheba yina shenpyo kuma nongu nonta rongu juna shomju gu tamba neki oya kapsho shona la tamche gu tatung gonsho tongro nzen yonjiri ene pana kazi yagoji shema duwa yina 아니 아주 최저반 나오라 성주 동바지 니에거나 마세세베나 칼 하고르다 성주 동바에 줄라 니에 칼 하고 참로 상으로
So if you hold others dear, then indulge in a vegetarian diet, karze. If you want auspiciousness in your home, then rejoice in oneself and all beings, indulging in vegetarian diet. If you want to bring happiness to your own home, if you want to bring that auspiciousness, if you want to lengthen the lives of the lineage holders, then engage in vegetarian diet and dedicate your merit to the longevity of the guru. If you want long life yourself, then also rejoice in vegetarianism, dedicate the merit, and you'll have a long life. Observe the life stories of the great masters of the past, and you'll see that their positive activities and their good lifestyle, they're engaging in the vegetarian way of life, brought upon them lots of protection from various deities and gods. Their path was blessed. Whereas if we observe somebody who's a meat eater, it's questionable whether or not their refuge vow is still intact, let alone their bodhisattva vow. There's question marks surrounding that.
Gazete toze lonsu shoe dute, marzete par jongring do toro dute, yang kaki zubola nasa da chenpo yo, maze maza na minjiba yo yena, ane nyung re tena yo, tende ki lusu minya la tere, yon rogo ya tende yo jiri, imata waji yon ke nga to maze chabda
That's
to
why
sayande.
in the so therefore, in light of this fact that it's so crucial to have a positive diet and lifestyle, that the great masters of the Ryu Ganden tradition, which is another name for the Gelugpa tradition, they really emphasized quite strongly the need to engage in that sort of lifestyle and really distance themselves from meat eating and really make vegetarianism the central diet. But there are cases, though, where a doctor may have diagnosed a person as having some deficiency or suggesting that they have a little meat in their diet. Well, if that's the case, there's an exception here. But then the indulgence in meat should not be from some emotional vantage point or from some sort of desire to indulge in that, but rather one should consider it as medicine. The meat that one is consuming, if it's for health reasons, one should consider it as medicine and bless the meat and make prayers for that animal.
Labarato tegendrenda tsewi ki miri shamsi miri sihibu miri checho deba yao shuji yin se atege ene semche tonro nyamchun de so nyepche chersa ko lamne pedi sha samo shene sha jiyo mazaba ni jiyo majaba shene ndendre ke nyamta semche de so kanga teba ina pe yagumarda.
So then Tibet is famous around the world as being a compassionate place, as being a spiritual country. That the Tibetan people sort of hold that as their legacy and embody that love and compassion for all beings. And so they should. They should be an example for the rest of the world. And yet we still find people who despite the fact that those animals are an object of compassion, they are an object of pity, they're humble, they don't have much abilities in terms of intelligence and so on. So they are objects of compassion, but not treating them as objects of compassion, of love, but exploiting them for their meat. So this is something which is sort of a stain upon the Tibetan people. who are supposed to be real ideal models of love and compassion and spirituality for the world. So keep this in your mind, not just to hold oneself dear, not just to bolster oneself and grasp onto oneself all the time, but endeavor to cherish others more than one cherishes oneself. That is a Dharma practice right there. To have the noble aim of wishing to uplift others. This is where a genuine change can happen in one's being. And this is what we need in Dharma. Dharma is all about bringing about a transformation in one's being, affecting a change, not just having information, but having an authentic transformation, changing inside from old habits to new transformation.
Number 2 되게는 다 돈이 니진인데 저거 니보래 드레미인데 나게 다튼 점에 동엔디 코니고 온도 마소아 너나 현변 상의 시에도 또 효아스.
So therefore, in the Buddha Dharma, we have emptiness united with compassion. This is really the essence of the practice. To not cling, to fixate on an alleged self or an other, to be completely free of all kinds of clinging, and let that effulgent realization of emptiness unified with compassion radiate forth, to blossom that forth. That's the real practice. Not to fixate on self and other, but to bring forth this unity of emptiness and compassion.
And 대리는 것조네 다저도 넘어 건도 대쇼이나요 유성보 기레 대리인데 토마토 이제 그 계속을 내야오 이제 조쇼 야 다들인데 내가 차송라 아니 나들에 가진 고마랑아 내나래 가서 그러고
I think there's a discussion, a little mention about the Amitabha practice. Dechok, I believe, is the Amitabha practice. So he's exhorting everyone to really endeavor to accomplish that well, put a lot of energy into it and accomplish the Amitabha practice. Rinpoche has been reminded by the Nyenchen Tangla, which is a local protector in Tibet. It's a prominent protector. And Nyenchen Tangla has been encouraging Rinpoche to have more of these Amitabha Drupchens and so on. These are grand accomplishment practices. And also been, and Rinpoche says, I need to remind you, keep your faith and devotion going strong. That's a very crucial point. Just keep your faith and devotion high.
아니 제가 라마 통제가 용샤도 파송아 메시지 가라가 세송선데 팔라쇼아 와야 아니들이 대마도 휴지게라매.
And then listen to the lamas, what the lamas have to advise. And then, but besides that, I've got nothing to tell you today. Listen to the lamas, and besides that, I have no other advice today, Rinpoche is saying. Keep your refuge vows. Oh, he's giving refuge here. Okay, so Rinpoche is giving refuge right now. And he's reminding us, he said, don't be here just for yourself, but be here for the benefit of all beings. Feel that I'm here representing all beings, my mothers and fathers. And then not only that, whatever happens, good or bad, rich or poor, whatever the situation that one encounters, one should feel that one will never give up taking refuge, but one will always take refuge for the benefit of all sentient beings. And then Rinpoche immediately goes into the refuge ceremony. So we should just repeat after what he's saying. We're taking refuge now.
Lama la shosonjo.
Gendun la chapsucho.
Sanje la shosonjo.
Lama la chapsucho.
Chö la shosonjo.
Sanje la chapsucho.
Gende la shosonjo.
Chö la chapsucho.
Namo Gurube.
Gendun la chapsucho.
Namo Bedaya.
Namo Gurube.
Namo Dharmaya.
Namo Buddhaya.
Namo Sangaya.
Namo Dharmaya.
Oya
Namo
ge tau yi
Sangaya.
no sewa de nyo che zo le so ta de ni shom ji do ba tao de sang ne. Ane la lo ge tem je de ji song sang ne. Ane Leso son hyo ta yeno leso je son hyo don ba ta sang de ba de.
So put a pause for a second. So we said Lexo. At that time when we say Lexo, we should feel that the refuge vow has taken root inside of oneself. And then rejoice that one is inseparable with the Guru now.
Oman bien me ranger. On va en mettre un groupe à de hon. On va en mettre un groupe à de hon. On va en mettre un groupe à de hon. On a mis de ranger, de ranger. On a mis de ranger, de ranger. On a mis de ranger, de ranger. On d'aller dans son, on d'aller dans son. Ya da ne. De va dire des choses c'est malon de ça ya wo da. De ça想着一家门这三些。要说的，你问我个啷的，跟你说的早上等的学生我的对象我，像你个就我那一直进化路就是这么一共三些东西是上面个，
So 1 second. So Rinpoche then advised us to then have bodhicitta, to constantly have compassion for all beings, to be always motivated by good intentions, to meticulously observe the workings of cause and effect, and then to make heartfelt supplications to Buddha Amitabha to go to Amitabha Pure Land, and then to complete your preliminaries. Please complete your preliminaries, refuge, bodhicitta, vajrasattva, mandala offering, Guru Yoga. And then he's making aspiration prayers. And then he also offered a bunch of mantras. You know, he's got to save all beings. So he's throwing out as many mantras as possible.
Sedimane de so do ngobo bamba la so to dewa ji ni wo shiwa kyo so ju mam de ju manchu de ne mongwa de so ju manchu mongwa de wo de so te chue chue ki gwa ge lin ji cha yong tem zhe yo re wa no ba so tu de ya wo ji yo de ne ma ne da da ka ze da sa da na ge jo ge le ba ji de ju manchu a se ne wo de现在的学经也就我学上当的头些是吧？你到到你为这那，现在呢就完了，做随便做的这个这个学。
So the final words were say Guru Rinpoche's mantra, say Om Mani Padme Hum, make aspiration prayers for Amitabha, do the protector practices, say indulge in vegetarian diet, engage in as much virtue as you can. Now let's dedicate the merit. That was it. Liberation machine.
Eric,
Thank you.
thank you so much. Wow.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
And Stephanie, will you post? So Eric is living in the jungle, practically on a shoestring, and so if anyone feels inspired to support him in his retreats there in the jungle, Stephanie will post Eric's PayPal. Also, this is Saga Dawa, so we can support a yogi in retreat, and we're grateful to have him here today to translate for us, to bring those words of wisdom from Rinpoche. Thank you, everyone. And let's also do a general dedication of the merit. And there's Eric's PayPal. Thank you. Gewa Deyi Nutuda, Mahaguru Drugyone, Joa Chikya Malupa, Deyi Sala Gopar Sho. Happy Saga Dawa.
Happy Saga Dawa. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Chico. So thank you, everybody.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. The activity behind the scenes.
You're very welcome.
May all be
The action dakini.
The action dakini.
Okay, everybody. Blessing. Blessing on Saga Dawa. See you soon.
Yay.
Happy we could come together. Oh, I want some hearts too.
Thanks, Eric. Thanks, Silko. Thanks, Eric.
The hearts aren't Maya, they're real.
Love you, love you, love you.
Love you too, Auntie Shanti.
Love Rinpoche.
I'm staying in samsara just for the hearts.
Hard to leave.
Oh.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Nice to see you, Lama Jacqueline.